Hail, mortals! I come to thee from my fairy grove to bring thee tidings of great woe. Western culture is being destroyed by cucks and by gender-bending, intoxication, and sodomy.
Marcuse's Eros and Civilization condemned all restrictions on sexual behavior, calling instead for polymorphous perversity. Polymorphous perversity helped open the door to aspects of political correctness such as gay liberation. Marcuse would ultimately become the most important member of the Frankfurt School for the development of political correctness. Gramsci and Lukács argued that before a Marxist revolution could take place, Western culture had to be destroyed.
1. The idea of postmodern neo-Marxist identity politics as a unifying concept of the left is nonsensical, and 2. Identity politics is not this dogma that must go unquestioned.
The Frankfurt School would be the vehicle that translated Marxism from economic into cultural terms, giving us what we now know as political correctness. Fromm, a practicing psychoanalyst, was noted for his radical Marxist social psychology. He pioneered the concept of sexual liberation and gender politics. Masculinity and femininity were not reflections of essential sexual differences. They were derived instead from differences in life functions, which were in part socially determined.
I have a solution for you. One hand for the V, one hand for the D. Both for degeneracy. Why does everyone think that identity politics is postmodern? There's nothing postmodern about it. Now, a true postmodernist would want to deconstruct the whole concept of the West and show how the very idea is racist and exclusionary and supremacist and justifies imperialism and all that kind of thing.
You're supporting ideologues who claim that all truth is subjective, that all sex differences are socially constructed, and that Western imperialism is the sole source of all third world problems. They are the postmodernists. Postmodernists don't believe in individuals. You're an exemplar of your race, sex, or sexual preference. You're also either a victim or an oppressor. All these concepts originated with Karl Marx, the 19th century German philosopher. Marx viewed the world as a gigantic class struggle, the bourgeoisie against the proletariat. But wherever his ideas were put into practice, in the Soviet Union, China, Vietnam, and Cambodia, to name just a few, whole economies failed and tens of millions were killed. Postmodernism will do to America and the entire Western world what it's already done to its universities.
Now we have to be careful not to confuse postmodern neo-Marxism with cultural Marxism, the Nazi conspiracy theory about Marxist intellectuals plotting to destroy the West. Surely this is not the same thing as that, right? Right?
The whole point of a socialistic society is to do four things. Marx talks about destroying the family, 2, destroying property, 3, destroying religion, and 4, destroying the nation.
Since Adolf Hitler ascended to power, the leading lights of the Frankfurt School packed up its ideology and fled to America. Consciousness-challenged baby boomers were bored with their lives and swallowed the Frankfurt School's propaganda like a hit of California Sunshine. Books like Authoritarian Personality were particular hits because they attacked the patriarchal family unit. By targeting the family unit, the cultural Marxists knew they could eventually destroy the middle class of the United States. Destroy the middle class, and you eventually destroy the economic engine of the United States. Through endless repetition and media dissemination, androgynous elements are institutionalized as legitimate and eventually normal, so that the youth would be endlessly indoctrinated. Things like the establishment, as they came to refer to it, was a bunch of racist, overly religious, sexually deprived sexists who were xenophobic Indian killers and anti-Semites. They internalized the criticisms. Soon their movies and songs began to reflect these values, spreading them throughout the nation's youth culture. We, the people, will have thus been indoctrinated. Change Western culture, and then the workers will unite. Critical theory is diabolical genius. The cultural Marxist could accomplish what Marx, Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin only dreamed of accomplishing.